terms of journals, now, oftentimes people get this one wrapped around their neck. So although you can run the payroll on a payroll software, I'm assuming you will also be using some sort of accounting software, and you need to take this data, take these figures and put that into your accounting software. If we click on journal, this is giving you exact, cash flow, QuickBooks, Sage and Xero. So let's say we're using QuickBooks. If you click on QuickBooks, this will record the journal. Your journal will include records for all payslips finalized with a pay date within the selected range. So you can actually, if you're a QuickBooks user, log that in. But you'd have to, first of all, map your nominal ledger journals. So if it's got a code that you're using on QuickBooks, you'd put that in alongside the name of the bank account or the gross wages account. Some of you will have that, others won't have anything, so you'd have to maybe put in a new nominal ledger mapping. Your accounting software could be generic, so it just could be for any. But let's assume that we're using QuickBooks. So we're going to include individual records for each employee. We'll click continue. So what we would have is on the debit side, it's always gross wages, or you might call it gross salaries. Employers NICS is normally the code or account called employers NI, and employers pension always on the debit side, employers pension account. Oftentimes gross wages is normally around about the 7,000 mark. Employers NI, I believe it's normally about 7,006. This is specifically in Sage. An employer's pension, you might have to create a new account for this, but let's call it 7,007. Then for the pay, it's normally around, I think it's the 2110, if I remember correctly, which is in Sage. Or is it the, I'm trying to think if it's the what looks right. Your Sage figure. It's normally, I'm going to call it around maybe the 2101, something like that. So this would be, you'd call it net wages. It's a current liability account. The total NICS would probably be I wonder if it's 22. I want to say maybe net wages is 2200 and maybe total NICS is 2210, something like that. This will be called NICs. Student loan is normally 13, something like that. Call it student loan. This will already be on your software. Attachment of earnings, AO, attachment of earnings orders, AEO. Other deductions might be 2217, could be anything, could be repay, season ticket or something, could be anything, or whatever is being deducted, or for charitable giving, let's call it that. Net wages 2200, net wages, and total pension contributions, maybe we take that out, the NICS 221, no, call it 2214 maybe, pension contributions. And then we click continue. Do you use an alternate nominal code for any payroll items relating to directors? In this case, no. Some places do. Directors' wages on this side would be maybe 7,001, and that is just to keep a record of how much the directors are paid. We can record that separately. use a specific code for custom items you've set up, whether it's additional, deduction types, rates, pensions, etc. Enter them below. Where you do not choose to use a specific code, items will be included on the relevant general code you've entered previously. So you might have, in terms of credits, I'm trying to think what might be on the credit side. Could be anything, SSP, SMP, that kind of thing. This is how your journal is therefore displayed. So this is how it looks. And then you can export that as a QuickBooks IFF file. And what you would then do is import that journal into QuickBooks. Or you can just choose to print this off and manually actually input these figures. So if you know your gross wages, and we're doing it by employee name. So you'd add up all your gross wages, you add up your employer's pension together. That's on the debit side, and then on the credit side, the net wages, pension contributions here. So let's export that. So those would be the journals that either you import into your accounting file, or you'd actually have to manually input them as a journal. Either way, that's what you need to put into your actual accounting software package to finish off.